back up again and
Never ending clog.
yep.
Seems stupid like me.
It's Andrew's meeting.
My meeting, alright.
Sure is.
Val is conducting right now, so.
I've never ran a meeting before, so this ought to be good.
Okay. Hello, Val?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, so this connection is for just the work sessions, and for the regular meeting, I have to switch over to the other one that's on the agendas, okay?
okay.
So we're talking about possibly extending the sewer up on B Avenue from 13th up to 14th Street. That would enable 4 places to be hooked up immediately, and the possibility of a 5th that currently is going out the backyard. They're having trouble, and Craig, we were discussing the possibility of Mr. Sellers just repairing the bad spot. Does anybody know where the bad spot is for sure? As in,
It's right in front of John Ketchin's tree that's right next to Paul Roster's house. So the one on that corner of the lot.
confident enough that if it got dug up, repaired, we're semi-confident that it would keep flowing at least. The idea is possibly pushing this off till next year so we can get it engineered and everything else, and possibly extending that permanently down to 14th Street for future, eventually if ever needed, down to 15th, which who knows, but right now 15th is not needed. So, but that's out in the street, is that repair, and that's, because is Rosters affected by?
Yeah, so Roster's goes in before mine,
Yep.
but they have a Y.
Yep.
So then when it backs up into mine first.
Yep.
Even from theirs, it goes uphill to get to me. To get to the clean out the spot that it was last time, we could only get there from Roster's house. So I can't even call like Roto-Rooter and have them get to the problem.
Okay.
So yeah, but they had problems a month ago. They sent me a message.
Yep.
6 o'clock.
And then my problem started about 10 days ago. It's a basement toilet and it drains slow, and I know something's coming. And then it'll work. It just goes. I can't run a washing machine or a dishwasher or anything like that. So
Okay.
yeah, it is. So my property's right in line with Paul and Kelly Rosser, and then the next one over is John Ketchin, and it's in front of his house. That's where we got it.
It's about 10 feet from where he ties in, or less. And his problem is he has a T instead of a Y or a sweep. So I did talk to Pickering, give me a ballpark idea what to replace 40, 60 foot of pipe, two new services and a clean out. He was around $4,000 roughly to do just a temporary fix with some clean outs in somebody's yard, so if it did back up again, they could easily get to it instead of having to go to somebody's house.
I mean, if we were gonna do this next year, put the new main down, you're still gonna be running new from your house out to the main.
I just need my house to the main looks great. There's no roots or anything. My biggest issue is the connection.
Yeah.
That they use a T instead of a Y. But
It's the shared part that has the roots in it. So
and as
That's
far
on
as
the
it's in the street, yeah.
as Pickering number, so just for comparison, last time I called Roto-Rooter with the jet truck, it was $1,200 to get them to leave, and about $1,900 total. That fixed it, and then they cut the roots, and then you guys paid for another portion that I didn't pay for. I paid for I think it was like $1,700 total is what it was, is what I owed them. I think they cut me a deal, but that was the 4th time, I think that I had called someone to come out.
But that's just a cutter on the end of a sewer machine from the house out.
They had to pressurize my line to get it clear enough to get the camera and the cutter down through there.
Right, but it was just like a C cutter.
Yeah, that's what they ended up doing from Paul's house, I think.
I didn't see it, but I assume that's probably what they did.
So, I guess what I'm thinking would be if you got it dug up in the parking, you have a small enough cutter on the end of the, you can't do that anymore?
No, ours
You got
is
the
just,
old machine.
ours is, I think it's too big to go down a 4-inch, the cutter itself. I think the smallest we can do is 6-inch with our root cutter.
You used to have a 4-inch root cutter.
Well, the bodies I think is too big, so, I mean, I can double check, but I'm pretty sure it's too
had
big to go
Gary
down a
do it
4-inch.
for me numerous times.
And I don't think it'll make a sweep anyway, cause it's, unless Gary got a different one before we started, but I can double check, but
How far in the street is the,
2 foot,
You know, right under the concrete curb.
not too bad. So if we had him dig, or if they had them, for him to dig it up, fix it, repair it, leave a clean out there, so if another issue arrived before we get this figured out.
I know.
Then when we do
Are you backing up right now?
Uh-huh.
Then when we do the main, it'll just be a matter of tying on from the main to yours.
I don't know where you would dig. I do know, obviously, John's got brand new sod out there.
Well,
you can
that's.
go right up the center.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that'd be up to John how far he'd want it connected onto his property, but
I tried to send him a message. I know he did something when he tied his new stuff in, but I don't know if he's on the shared line. I'm sure his.
yeah, he's still, yeah.
Is
He
he?
didn't do anything out in the street, he just put a clean out and a line from his new addition tied into his
Okay.
existing line, and that's all he did there, so.
Gotcha.
So as I say, if it's not that far into the street, then repair it until we get this engineered and figured out.
Yeah, I mean, we talked, obviously we only gotta talk about it, but if we're okay extending the line up there, the council thinks that's a good idea to get this straightened out in the future.
Well, you're gonna have, other people are gonna have more problems, so
Yeah.
I think it's not a bad idea.
I agree.
Talked to her about drilling one in, doing a burst or something.
Well, you can't because it goes about 8 foot after it reduces down to 4, then it 45s, then it 45s again, so I don't know if you'd be able to burst on. I did talk to Nate, he didn't think you could go from 4 to 8 bursting it, so. He didn't think, so.
You're the one that knows.
And he did give me a rough idea for a whole new main going up there, so.
But that was cheap.
Yeah, it was. Just 228,000, so,
What? Now, according to that map, that's what's already there.
yeah, but. Please don't go by that map.
That map says there's a manhole.
Don't
from my
get
house.
your hopes up.
Yeah.
There might be one, it might just be under 50 years of asphalt and concrete.
Glow trail.
Well, I think we gotta address it, I don't wanna keep putting Band-Aids on it.
Well, I guess the thing is, the repair part should be on the owner, not on the city. That might, I mean, that's my take on it.
I mean, it's
Because
there
if
as
we're
far
gonna
as I
spend
guess I'm
200 and some
concerned.
I think you own it to
$1,000.
the main yet, cause we never did change that, right?
What's that?
They still own it to the main.
Right.
Yeah,
Even though it's a shared main, it's, or a service
Still a main.
line, it's only 4-inch and,
but if we run and spend that much money to run a new main up through there, then they can tie onto that and problem
That's not
or
gonna stop
what's,
his problem right now.
that's what I'm saying though, if you repair it for right now and leave it clean out right there, just in case it backs up again.
So nothing against my neighbors, but I feel like if I have to dig up in front of John's house, I'm gonna dig up on my side of the street and just put my own in. I mean, like I said, I get along with everybody, but I don't wanna go ask the little old lady in the corner for money. I don't wanna ask Paul and Kelly for money. John will ask, I don't care about that, but
You can't go down the street because you gotta put a clean out every 100 feet.
I'd have to have one clean out then.
Right,
And I think I
so
can talk to that neighbor. He's friendly if he's
Right.
not drinking.
your best bet would be to bore it, you know.
I'm just saying, like, I understand that I always thought I was responsible to the T or to the Y, and up to that point, I'm perfect. And then, I mean, let's say 10 years down the road, we decide that we need 12-inch mains instead of 8-inch mains. Does every 8-inch main now become a party line, or is that someone okayed a 4-inch shared line for 4 houses?
And it was long before you and I probably even existed.
Well, no, I mean, those houses were built in the 70s, so it's not that long ago.
I mean, you can stand up there and tell which houses, when, you know,
They
roughly
all
they're
look the
built.
same, yeah.
And it's all someone who built them
Yeah.
decided, and let's just run one down to 13th instead of all.
But that was before all the ordinances and everything else that,
So I get it. My big, I know it's a shared line. I kind of get it. I know that it's happened in the past. Who defines a shared line as 4 inches and a city sewer is 8? If it were to have broke there, and I had 3 houses that had no sewer, is it then your guys' problem, or do we have to dig it up altogether?
That's not considered our main. Just,
no, it's not.
And by rights where it's at, all 3 of you should have to pitch in and pay
Yeah.
for it.
I know.
yeah.
I said I'll talk to Devin more about it, but that's kind of my thought. Is that it's not even my problem right now. It's someone. Paul has more roots than I do, but it doesn't back up in his house first. It backs up in mine. So
Right.
I'm the one that could I put a backflow limiter on it and then just kind of screw over the next person. I mean,
You put a backflow in your basement, yeah.
but yeah, then what's gonna happen to Paul and Kelly for the little old
Well,
lady
then
up the
they
street?
get it, and yeah,
Yeah.
no, it just keeps going up the line, but you're still not gonna be able to use yours.
Right,
Yep.
right. Because it's gonna stop yours and then you're, ain't gonna do you any good.
This is what happened back in the 70s. There was no plan, ordinances. I mean, all the houses up across from Bud in that horseshoe,
Yeah, they're messed up.
no, not anymore.
Yeah.
They were all tied to one line that went to the old pump station, and I changed that 20, 30 years ago. Because
And for the
Dale
record, that
Garwood.
main does not run in my backyard.
well, no, I'm talking across the street. Dale Garwood, Dwayne Garwood, Crafts, the old Methodist parsonage, and Jim Fuller's house. Used to be Jim Fuller's house on the corner. They all came in a horseshoe around and tied in to the sewage treatment plant or the pump station that used to sit there. And then it got tied in after the pump station went away. It got tied into the main out in the street, and that all got replaced, like I said, about 30 years ago. And your backyard is the same way. All those houses, Dale built, they all went through there, did the same thing. But since it's-
you're considering running a new sewer
On my side of the street.
on your side of the street all the way down to 13th.
Yep.
And that's just, that leaves your problem to not, obviously,
Yeah, I mean, I said I feel bad. I don't want to ask them for money, and I don't want to pay to dig 6 holes when I could just dig 2. Yeah, and I don't know what the price is. I haven't talked to Devin that much.
It's
So
gonna
all
cost
those
you.
are hooked onto that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
The one you want to replace?
yeah.
I
The
just
question
break.
is,
I
if
break.
we pay to have Devin upsize that thing right down that side,
Yeah.
8 inch, else tie into that? Don't we have a main?
Very much so, yeah. We were just wondering if we can get that done this year yet. And this would be a solution till next year when we actually do that.
I think it's a permanent solution. If you get them all tied in to an 8-inch main,
Robert, how soon are you gonna be able to get that done?
I'll talk to Devin. It's gonna be cheap enough.
You
said
gonna go to
what,
work
seven-
for him?
Huh?
You gonna go to work for him?
Sure.
Okay,
First
so
time I
I-
laid sewer main.
That
I'll
was
do
to
it again.
patch the 4-inch, that wasn't to run
Right.
300 foot of 8-inch.
Let's find out. Let's find
So-
out what it's gonna take.
If I put my own in then,
It doesn't cost anything to ask.
Oh, no, no.
if I put my own in, am I allowed to do a 4-inch?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Alright,
I wouldn't go any bigger.
okay.
But the other problem is, whatever I mean, it's all gonna happen relatively quickly here, cause they're in a bad spot.
Luckily I haven't finished it yet.
Huh?
Luckily I haven't finished it yet, but that permit probably expired. I mean, we wanted to finish it.
Well, that's what I say, if he would do it, if him and Rossers would do it temporary where their bad spot is, and then we have time to think about running up that street. Do you think that would, cause you say it looks good from your house out to that spot,
My house was perfect, Paul and Kelly's had some roots, but mine was,
and then after the bad spot, what's it look like?
Good.
good.
It's that
good.
spot where the
So,
tree roots,
you got a quote on just fixing the bad spot,
yeah, around $4,000.
but the footages didn't make sense to me, you were talking about how many feet of this and that. I thought we were just
Well,
digging.
you're gonna have to replace, so much in there to stay away from the roots, so. If you only wanna do, 20 foot would probably,
You think this is just a root problem, or is this the?
yes, it's
Yeah.
just a root.
It was,
Just root problem.
it was like concrete when they finally cut it out there and after like
Oh, okay.
2 hours.
I thought it was more of the 45.
It's that big tree right there.
They're not helping the situation, but.
And then,
Yeah, his 90 is a problem, so you'd have to at least
Yeah,
go
I
up
got-
there and
Yeah.
give him a new service or a new sweep.
Yeah.
And then, do the same thing for Paul, cause you're gonna go right past
Yeah.
his, so. And then a minimum of 20 foot, if not 30 or 40 feet,
Is the T an issue if we don't have the roofs for the winter?
it hasn't been, no.
So I mean, so we're thinking about changing the T, that we may not have to change the T, we just need to get rid of the roof problem.
Just go down there and dig up enough to, I mean, it's worked up till now, I guess. I mean,
yeah, it's just my luck.
yeah.
You guys want me to touch anything else, I'll break it. But
Are you trading money if you spend X amount of dollars to repair this and save from having to go all the way down to 13th on your own?
Be a lot.
no,
It's a
I
lot
mean,
cheaper.
if I'm being like, if I only have to pay Devin $4,000 to fix my problem and it's done, and then at some point I get a sewer main later, like that's better than calling Roto-Rooter every month.
Right.
Oh, it'd be less than that. I
And
mean,
then
that's,
having them going to Paul and Kelly's house. Like I'm willing to do that. I kind of already have spent that much on it. It's just if I know it's gonna fix it, I know it's a problem. I just didn't know if by digging up that one section, do we have to now meet code, or is it,
No,
no,
it's just temporary fix.
you know?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think there's any code on
all it is temporary.
fixing sewer main, I don't think, sewer lines.
Yeah, if I could dig a hole in my yard right now and fix it, I would. But it's in a street, so.
So I'm clear, you're thinking it's okay to do the repair in the street, and then next year we run that 8-inch up there and hook in there permanently.
So I'm not against it. I guess I was a little confused about what Devin's number was for. That's just for replacing the.
Well, that was, 40 or 60 foot to make sure that,
We got it all.
yeah.
But
We
if
didn't
it
have to worry
doesn't, if it doesn't
about it.
need to go that far, it's not gonna be that much.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know how fast we'd get the main put in, so.
Right.
Yeah.
If we can't guarantee we're gonna do it next year, then,
Well, that's what I say though, if
We
it
should
looks
probably-
good from his house out and
Yeah.
after the bad spot, it looks good, then it buys us a little bit of time, but we're not
Right.
gonna let this sit, so. That's why
I'm an electrician, you don't put cleanouts in the road.
You can't, just put them inside a manhole. Just did a casting,
Yeah.
so you can't crush them.
I assume those manholes cost quite a bit of money.
No, it's
No.
just basically for a 4 inch, it'd be
Oh.
it'd be a water
I see.
water
Yes,
main
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's not much.
riser. Yeah.
$100 Pete.
Yeah.
Oh,
I could probably go dig around my yard and out there, shop, see if we have one.
okay.
Craig probably has one laying around somewhere.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of them.
Alright, well, that seems like an answer.
So will this temporary solution help Paul and Kelly too,
Take care of her.
Yeah.
Yep.
everybody?
Yeah.
This again is permanently fixing the floor places. The one that's not having trouble, right?
Well, they got a lot of gravity before they
Yeah.
had that problem.
They are obviously part of the problem. So
Yeah.
it's immediately fixing 4, with the idea that, I don't know who lives in the one up south of you, but on the corner, the one that's not attached to this,
Oh, yeah, the
but
big one.
eventually they could take
Yeah.
advantage of going, cause theirs goes out the back.
That's Jim Peterson's old place.
Yeah.
No, across the street he's talking about.
Across the street is
Oh,
not
across
hooked
the
on,
No, it,
Petersons are hooked on, I think.
Yeah.
it goes to the back of the next block, where that whole block all ties together.
It wasn't
Lose
for
the
anybody,
church and
they eventually have to do something, so.
So we in agreement? You're good with that?
I'm good with it, but I think I was just misunderstanding a little bit, but I didn't know that was an option.
So what are the responsibilities, who's doing what?
Well, Pickering puts it in and, the neighbors pay for it. City doesn't pay for it.
So 3 of you, 4 of you?
It'd probably be me, it's fine.
No, it can't be just you.
It'll
Should
probably
be just
me.
you.
I've
It
spent
should
more
be
than that
just
already,
you.
so.
No, it can't be just you.
No,
I mean, what's our options here? If we hire Pickering to go fix it, can we assess it to their taxes, or do we go out and say, hey, we gotta go fix this issue, it's a temporary deal, it's your services, or?
You can do a special assessment, that is an option, on property taxes, yes, because it's considered infrastructure and it is one of the items that is listed for special assessment.
At least then we'd get our money to get it paid for. We're not gonna have to pay for it all. Unless you go talk to them and say, hey, we're gonna do this to fix everybody's problem, and they agree.
I think he's willing to, it's the one up the street that I can't knock on the door and ask her for money.
Gene Peterson?
I feel so bad. I don't let my kids go sell fundraisers over there.
I used to have to tell people that all the time.
Yeah. But
What's the
Here
better
I
way
am
to
now.
go?
well, I mean, from their standpoint too, they have no problems, and then
Well, you can divide it by 3.
Yeah.
Right,
I would
but,
do some research
but it,
because,
the thing is,
they're-
it all flows downhill.
Normally,
Yeah.
they would have to
Your-
request the special assessment, like last special assessment we did for the water repair. It was requested by the property owners to do that. So that's probably the easiest route is for everybody to request that.
Because everybody's gonna have an expense when we put this main in, because they're gonna be responsible hooking to the new main, is that correct?
Taps.
We would hook them up when we were gonna buy it, wouldn't we?
I'd go to the parking, wouldn't you, up to the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Typically. So our yours would actually come across the street, we'd hook you up in your yard, instead of going across the street.
okay.
Underneath your brand new sidewalk.
Right
No,
underneath.
just don't get the driveway, and we're fine.
That's right where it goes.
No, we'll move it.
You put your driveway right over top of it. I told you not to.
You guys don't make me pull a permit for a driveway. I asked.
Still can't cover up the infrastructure.
I replaced the water main when we did it. I didn't know to keep digging.
What?
The water main was 10 feet down there, or whatever the heck it was.
That was deep.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Why are you digging 10 feet deep?
To get to the water main,
What you need to get the water main for?
so I didn't have
His
to.
water, his service line.
Oh, you put a new service in, I gotcha. I was missing that key
Yeah.
information.
You don't see many of them 10 foot deep in town, do you?
Not too often.
Not too often.
Not too often.
Poor Doug couldn't see his head in there anymore.
Boy, I hope we had shoring.
Always.
I'm sure we did.
Yes, I'm sure we did.
We are nothing but safe.
I hope so.
Well, 4 minutes early.
There we are.
So then for the next meeting, is that agenda item accepting the bid from Pickering to move forward with this?
Yeah.
But also, we need to get letters sent to us requesting special assessment.
Well, we need to know how much it's gonna be first.
Right.
If they want a special assessment.
Yes.
If they just wanna pay their share, then it's, right? We don't need any letters or anything.
So you would need to get a formal updated quote,
Right,
so we know how much we're talking.
yeah.
Per household?
Well, for the
Yeah,
total
yeah,
cost
total
and
bill.
divided by 3, so.
Yeah.
I'll call Devin tomorrow.
Divided by 4, right?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, John's cleared,
John's at the
this
end.
isn't part of John's shared line, I guess, as far as I understand it. If it was down there where John would be affected, I'd say, yeah, we could charge John, but since it's clear uphill,
I see. Yeah,
he's not affected at all by it, so.
Yeah.
You want me to, I'll ask him.
No, by all rights, he's not. That's true.
Well, would it be better to do a not to exceed number from Devon, so he could do it time and material? That way it can only go 20 feet.
Yeah. I would s-
He'd much
That'd
rather
probably
do
be
that
better-
anyway.
Better thing.
The minimalist he can do to make it all flow.
Yep.
If I pay him cash, is it 40% cheaper?
I'll say yes, but I can't guarantee that it
You
will.
give it to Craig, and he'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And there'll still be a special assessment.
It's just a construction question, Chris. That's how it works, right? There's a lot of tradesmen up there.
No, I think back when I used to do that, it was the beer.
Oh yeah. I put a couple cases out there in the hole.
I'll talk to Mrs. Peterson and I'll talk to Paul and
Yeah.
see what they say.
Beer does get you a lot of places.
So, for me, where would the main go?
The actual main,
Yeah,
right up the center of the street.
that's in the street.
You guys
Tie
gonna
onto the 8-inch stub that comes out and go on all the way up to
So Paul's gonna be
14th.
spending money to extend his to the middle of the street,
We will bring ours out to his
To-
right of way,
his right of way.
but then they'll still
There
go
won't
to
be
the
any-
main.
Won't be any charge to the homeowner, way I take it, right? Cause we'll go right out to the,
Oh, okay,
right up to
okay.
the sidewalk and the
So
only
when
charge
we
would
got
be
new
if
stuff underneath our street.
they'd wanna put a clean out in, it'd be
Yeah,
up to them, right? Are we gonna put clean outs in for them?
Right now,
No,
no,
Now,
permanent.
when this all gets done.
we do the main. I mean, we haven't done clean outs for anybody yet, so.
they'd have to put that up closer to the house anyhow, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be right outside, the Siamese right outside by code nowadays, but,
And we'll just bring it to the right of way.
yeah.
Yeah, I got an unrelated question since we talked about my street. How do I get the light turned off?
You don't.
But why is it only my street that has them in the center of the block?
Because that is a main thoroughfare for the middle school.
The school route?
Oh my gosh.
The yours is the only one in the middle of the block?
No.
My street is the only one that has them in the middle of the block. Is B
All
Avenue.
B Avenue, yeah.
Yeah, but not C Avenue, just B Avenue.
No, that's, I remember.
Cause we're not, we don't want the kids on C Avenue because we're gonna keep them away from traffic, so we
They
push them
updated
over in
those
front of your house.
to LED.
Yeah,
That's
they
part of
did.
that.
They updated them LED, they're bright.
Oh, yeah.
Are they purple yet?
They're not purple yet, just that
The
one.
ones out on the 218
On
and,
218,
I kinda like the
Those are
purple.
purple.
Yeah. That's a recall deal. They're not supposed to be that way.
Oh, I love it, I liked it, I like that better than anything else, so. I say we keep them, forget the recall.
price from Pickering to put a main in also?
Well, I put that one out to a couple people. to get
Well,
quotes.
okay.
Well, we're gonna have to have that engineered, so we need
Oh,
to
Yeah,
get
Nate
that,
can get that pretty quickly, I think.
yeah.
He gave me a rough estimate, but yeah, I'll have to. Got permission to tell him
I'd like
to
to
move
skip
forward with it?
engineering fee, but I don't think.
Do I have permission to tell him to get it engineered, or do we need to approve that first?
You have to approve that.
Yeah, we'll have to give him direction, review direction.
So next council meeting, you'll do that?
Yep.
Get what engineer? To repair it?
No, the
Oh, yeah, that's
Run
gonna
a
have to
sewer
be
main.
engineered through Nate.
Al, you okay?
What?
Are you okay?